If you like this video, please consider supporting the Oto Kano channel over on Patreon. Thank you! In this episode, we are taking a close look at the Green Apatite Genuine by Daniel Smith. Green Apatite, the mineral, is an apatite just like the Blue Apatite Genuine we had in an earlier episode. Translucent specimens of apatite are popular as gemstones for collecting, and in rare occasions you can get ones that have a cat's eyes appearance. It is, however, too soft to be a good jewellery quality gemstone. Green Apatite Genuine, the colour is a heavily granulating two-tone colour of deep mossy greens. It has no sparkle or shimmer. It is easy to re-wet and get lovely saturated colours from. Daniel Smith's website says, Primatek Green Apatite Genuine Watercolor lets you create a beautiful range of greens, fresh yellow greens to deep olive, with a single tube. This sedimentary colour is a dark, almost brown olive green in mass tone. In washes, the brown settles out of a vivid natural green, creating memorable textures and contrast. It is a Series 3 colour, excellent in light fastness, semi-transparent, low staining and granulating. Welcome back, the paints have dried and this is Green Apatite Genuine. I would say that Green Apatite Genuine in its mass tone is the darkest of the green colours in the Primatek range. And so not surprisingly, it has the biggest range of values from this is practically black to very, very pale green. It does, however, suffer from this surprising green popping up here and there, as you can see here and also here. And you see it a lot more down here. So just like the serpentine we saw in the previous episode, if you are intending on using Green Apatite Genuine at this lighter values and lighter washes, then I highly recommend doing some practices so you get to learn where that surprise green comes in. With the more textured paper such as the Bockingford Cold Press, the Bockingford Rough and the Arches Cold Press, the granulation that happens, which is very dark, almost black color, is very predictable. It will settle in the pits of the paper and it shows up where you expect it to. However, when it comes to the hot press, because all that granulation doesn't have a particular place it can go in, the finish you get is a lot more unpredictable, with bands of greens and blacks happening rather than in a more predictable way like over here. So again, just like the serpentine, if you are intending on using it on hot press paper, then I highly recommend doing lots of practices so you get to learn how this paint will behave on the hot press paper of your choice. In terms of opacity, Daniel Smith classifies this colour as semi-transparent, and I would agree with this. The black line isn't pure black anymore. It has a more brown, reddy sheen to it, so it's definitely a good classification to call this a semi-transparent. Green Apatite is classified as low staining, and I would agree with this, maybe leaning towards the mid staining, but it's definitely good that they didn't classify at least this colour as no staining, because there is some staining. In terms of glazing, it's not the easiest one to glaze. It's quite hard to get a smooth glaze because the colour underneath lifts quite easily when you come to glaze, so not very recommended for this technique. In terms of gauzing, again, just like the serpentine, you get this bright green happening in the background and then the strong granulation colour gathering along the lines of the gauze to create this. It is a brown undertone, green, dark, almost black colour. I would say it is black around here, and then a very dark, muted green everywhere else. In terms of salt technique, it doesn't really do anything at all. And the water blooms, you don't get a clear pattern happening at all with this color. So this color, I would say, is not very good at using these specialized techniques, but it is excellent at doing the gauzing. Now let's take a look at how this color mixes with other colors. And here are the 12 colors that I mixed green Apatite Genuine with, and this is the result. With this color having this light green aspect, you would expect its complementary color to be in the quinacridone violet, but just like in the serpentine I explained in the previous episode, because it has this brown undertone which makes the color lean a lot more towards the red, you need a more blue color to neutralize the green Apatite Genuine, and so I would say that the ultramarine violet is the better choice as its complement if you're trying to mute this color down. It doesn't do a great job in mixing with the oranges and reds, creating this kind of rusty brown color. It made a wonderful bright olivey green with the cadmium yellow light, and I like the result of it being mixed with quinacridone violet. When it comes to the green colors though, there's not much color shift. It just adds a heavy amount of granulation to any color that you add. In terms of how the green Apatite compares with other colors, I of course pulled up the serpentine. The serpentine has much more yellow than the green Apatite does. Then we have Daniel Smith's Deep Sap Green, which has much more blue in it. I would say the Undersea Green is quite similar in certain aspects of the hue. I can see how over here it's a lot closer to this hue, whereas down here it's not so much. So the green Apatite does suffer from patchiness of hue when you're painting it with it. Daniel Smith's Green Gold is way too bright and too yellow. Holbein's Sap Green is again too bright. Terra Vert is a little bit too blue. Green Grey is too muted. Then we go into Sennelier with Chromium Oxide Green, which is too blue. Sennelier's Sap Green has more yellow and is definitely closer to this than the Chromium Green Oxide. However, it still doesn't have enough yellow, whereas the Sennelier Olive Green goes a little bit too much to the yellow side. I also tested the Daniel Smith's Chromium Green Oxide, which was too blue. A colour that I would have loved to have tested with this set was the Daniel Smith's Sap Green, so I'm very sorry that I don't have this colour. But looking at all these greens, they're all kind of similar, and therefore if you have one of these colours, it's debatable as whether you need a Daniel Smith's Green Apatite. I can definitely see how you can mix up a similar colour to green Apatite from these widely available ranges of muted greens. However, a lot of these colours, with the exception of the Chromium Green Oxide by Daniel Smith and the Serpentine, are non-granulating colours. So if you are looking for a colour of this range of hues, but you want it to be heavily granulating, then Daniel Smith's Green Apatite will be a great choice for you. So that was Green Apatite Genuine. It's a heavily granulating colour with a very wide range of values. It does have this surprise green popping up now and then though, so you do have to watch out for that, and it can get picky about what paper it plays well with. As for me, I think I will pass on this colour. It's just a little bit too unwieldy and it doesn't mix quite so nicely with other colours, and it doesn't do well with techniques, so this is definitely a colour that isn't for me. What about you? What did you think of this colour? Would you have this colour on your palette? Do let me know in the comments down below. And if you are a big fan of the green Apatite Genuine, then please do let us know in the comments down below what you like to use this color. I'd be really interested to know, because I'm a little bit against this color, but if you can show me a great way to use this color, then I might change my mind. Now, because I don't want to shock you in the next episode, this is the penultimate episode for this series. I really hope you've been enjoying this series, and if you have, then please do give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!